Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the definitive executive buyer's guide to choosing a cybersecurity audit company. The goal here? Simple. We want to arm you with the structured insights you need to protect your organization's bottom line. So let's just jump right in and see what's at stake. $2.9 billion. That's a staggering number, right? But in 2023 alone, compromised business emails cost enterprises exactly that, around $2.9 billion. It really drives home our core focus today. Cyber attacks are absolutely no longer just an IT headache. They are a massive direct balance sheet liability. You literally cannot afford to treat them as an afterthought anymore. To protect your revenue and your reputation, here is our roadmap for this explainer. We'll cover the true cost of cyber attacks, choosing the right auditor, top cybersecurity audit firms, the different types of audits available, and finally, best practices for success. Okay, let's start with Section 1, the true cost of cyber attacks, and moving from an IT issue to a balance sheet liability. A poorly executed audit is actually worse than no audit at all. Why? Because it completely masks real vulnerabilities and lulls leadership into a false sense of security. But the right audit? It does the exact opposite. It delivers the deep discovery you need to navigate today's volatile business landscape with absolute confidence. Because ultimately, a strong security posture has completely stopped being a nice-to-have. As you can probably guess, it's become something leaders have to budget for, just like any other major business risk. It's honestly exactly like insuring against a natural disaster or a sudden market crash. Moving from the problem to the solution, let's dive into Section 2, choosing the right auditor, and what to look for in a cybersecurity partner. So you need an auditor who essentially acts like a top-tier detective. And that means verifying gold standard credentials. Think CISSP and CISA certifications. You're also going to want someone with a deep understanding of privacy rules who brings proprietary testing tools to the table. Plus, demand customizable support that actually fits the specific size and scope of your business. That is how you spot those crucial improvements to eliminate fines and protect your reputation. And speaking of fines, generic knowledge just isn't going to cut it. A top-tier auditor must possess incredibly in-depth expertise in navigating the specific compliance regulations for your industry. So whether you're dealing with HIPAA in healthcare, GDPR across the EU, or the CCPA in the tech sector, your auditor literally needs to know that legal landscape inside and out. When we translate that to business safeguards, your vendor has to offer a truly comprehensive suite of services. You're looking for active defenses like managed detection and response and access management, right alongside reactive incident response plans. And definitely pay special attention to penetration testing. That's basically ethical hacking to find your weaknesses before the bad guys actually do. Which brings us to Section 3, top cybersecurity audit firms. Let's navigate the market players and look at a few of the top companies delivering these services. Let's kick this off with Atlant Security. They offer a highly structured approach, including AWS and Azure consulting, and a 3-stage maturity assessment. But what's fantastic here is that they can actually deploy fractional remote CSIOs, Chief Information Security Officers. Basically, they bring in part-time, highly experienced executives to help your business grow safely while managing your specific compliance frameworks, whether that's NIST, ISO 2700, or SOC 2. Moving through the market, other major players bring some totally unique financial and strategic value. For example, Fortinet utilizes unified management and AI threat intelligence to create a complete security fabric. Then you have Arctic Wolf offering incredible peace of mind with a $1.5 million security operations warranty and a crazy fast 1-hour incident response time. And of course, a premier tech giant like Cisco brings proprietary threat hunter tools and a super robust zero-trust strategy. Rounding out the top firms, you have specialists ensuring your endpoints are completely locked down. Companies like Bitdefender and Palo Alto Networks tackle gateway threats with offensive methods and cloud automation. Meanwhile, Tenable, Sophos, and Astra give you an all-attack surface view, focusing heavily on next-generation firewalls, centralized command, and continuous penetration testing. The big takeaway here? There is a highly specialized toolset out there to ensure your business remains totally locked down. Now that we know the vendors, let's head into Section 4, types of cybersecurity audits. We need to map the audit to your exact business needs. To save both time and money, you have to match your specific corporate risk to the correct audit type. It's kind of like a giant puzzle. Worried about internal network infrastructure like firewalls and routers? You need a network security audit. Falling behind on legal requirements? That's a compliance audit. Want to systematically identify and rank system weaknesses? Go with a vulnerability assessment. Need to see if a hacker could actually break in through web apps? Deploy a penetration testing audit. Or if you need to evaluate overall organizational impact, a risk assessment audit is your best bet. Finally, let's look at Section 5, Best Practices for Success, and executing the audit for maximum ROI. Execution here requires absolute pinpoint precision. First off, you must comprehensively define the scope of the project, taking into account all legal and regulatory viewpoints. Second, make sure to evaluate the proprietary tools your vendor is bringing, like advanced penetration testing platforms. And third, you absolutely must prioritize reporting to demonstrate that ROI. Let's actually focus on that last point for a second. Reporting itself is going to be a massive part of the ROI that demonstrates the value of this whole process. Ultimately, the reporting phase is where you, as business leaders, get the tangible proof you can take to the board. It proves that liability has decreased and that the company's reputation for competence is genuinely secure. We've seen today that improving security directly decreases your corporate liability. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a rather urgent question to ask yourself and your executive team. Are you leaving lucrative loopholes open for hackers to exploit? Take a hard look at your current posture. Is it truly secure, or are you leaving weaknesses wide open for the taking? Think about that, review your systems, and take action. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.